What is now called the Baker Township Community Building was formerly a schoolhouse known as Union School and was one of many schools here in Baker Township. The original schoolhouse was built in 1838 out of logs as the area was heavily wooded at that time, and while the exact location of this schoolhouse is unknown, it appears to have been rather near where the current community building is now. In 1853, Union School was designated as School District Number 2, and the district covered most of what was referred to at that time Section 28 of Baker Township. Nearly 3 years earlier, on August 2, 1850, John and Lucy Hodges donated 1 acre tract of land for the purpose of a schoolhouse and meeting grounds. The written record states, whereas the inhabitants of District 2 and the adjoining neighborhood is in need of a piece of ground to erect a school and meeting house. Whether this land was used for a schoolhouse remains unclear, but the wording of the deed indicates that it was. The T-style log building that was erected as the new Union Schoolhouse was built by Robert Fincham, as was the New Salem Schoolhouse. This log building was used until approximately 1865, as according to the Indiana State Superintendent of Public Instruction annual report, it states that by 1865 there were no log schools in use in Morgan County. On August 6, 1867, the current site of the Union School was sold to Baker Township by John C. Duncan for $50, only on the condition that he be allowed to remove timber that may be suitable for use on the railroad. This third Union Schoolhouse was used until being replaced by the brick building that we see now in 1893. The brick for this building was supplied by a John C. Clark for $173, but it appears the brick was not burned on site. The limestone for the sills and possibly the foundation was purchased from the Ulitic Quarry Company for $15.50. Using these materials and additional materials from J.W. Blair and Company, material and labor from trustee R.T. Miller, himself totaling $332, the new schoolhouse was constructed by J.S. Douglas, who received $150 for his work. While there appears to be a gap in records from 1893 until the early 1900s, we start to see more information appear in the written record about the lives and the people connected to this historic building. In 1908, one of the teachers at Union School was a man by the name of Arlie Mathers, and he earned just $1.42 a day for his efforts. The children who attended were of various ages, and the means by which they got to school was either by walking or getting a ride from their father in the family wagon. Most children were within a 3-mile radius from their school, so it would have taken approximately an hour and a half for most children to walk to school. This distance often provided some difficulties when being faced with extreme weather, as an old memory recorded in a newspaper from September 2000 that may or may not have happened at Union School, according to the paper. However, it will give us a glimpse into the past. The story goes like this. Mother, Johnny is dwindling again, and I have already told him if he doesn't hurry, we will be tardy if he doesn't hurry. Please make him hurry, as I don't want to be tardy again. A light snow was falling as Mary Jane and Johnny finally left the comfort of their warm farmhouse to begin their walk towards Union School for their daily classes. Down the road a bit they met other children who also had to walk to school, and soon a group of 6 or 7 children walked and chattered away, oblivious to the snowflakes which were falling heavier. By the time they arrived near the school, they could see the teacher coming out onto the steps to ring the first bell. 5 minutes later, she would ring the second bell. All of the children broke into a fast run, knowing that if the second bell rang, they would be counted tardy. Mary Jane rushed back to encourage Johnny to run faster, as his short legs always made them tardy to class. She knew that if she left him to run alone, however, that he would tell their mother, and she would be in trouble for leaving him alone. "Run, faster, Johnny! We're going to be tardy. Please, Johnny, run as fast as you can." Johnny replied, "I am running as fast as I can. Besides, I don't care if I'm tardy. I don't like school anyway." They rushed and they hurried, but managed to arrive before the second bell had rang. They were not tardy for school. Soon the first assignments were given out, and the children were working on their lessons when a wagon pulled up outside, and Mr. Jones, who lived 4 miles from the school, escorted his 2 children to the door and explained to the teacher why they were late. As the morning slowly passed and the first recess was announced, the children all ran to go play in the snow. Some made snowmen, others had snowball fights, and some just played the normal childhood games. It was sometime after noon that other sounds were heard outside the school, and when the teacher went to check, she saw many parents in wagons. They had come to pick up their children as they did not want their children to be stranded at school with no food and water or wood to stay warm until the snow had ceased. The teacher dismissed most of the class to their parents, and soon only Johnny and Mary Jane were left with a small number of other kids who walked to school that day. The children did their assignments as the teacher walked back and forth to the window, watching the snow become heavier and the road out front slowly disappear. The teacher had said to the kids, "Let's all huddle around the stove and tell our favorite stories while we await the arrival of your parents." The day progressed on, and as the school day was nearing its end, the teacher grew concerned. She had not seen the other parents to come pick up their children. Her thoughts were interrupted by shouts of glee as Johnny yelled, "It's Mom and Dad! I see them coming on a wagon! They are all white but covered in blankets!" Soon the wagon pulled in front of the school, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith dismounted and shook the snow from their blankets as they entered the school. Mr. Smith had told the teacher that the road was impassable, and he had brought a wagon load of wood covered with a tarp. He also explained that they would probably be staying a while until someone could clear the roads. Soon the children all joined in helping to unload the wood, and Mrs. Smith and the teacher laid the blankets out to dry on the teacher's table. This meal contained one of Johnny's favorite snacks, vanilla tea cakes. The children had a great time at school that day, and this event could very well be the first recorded parent-teacher-student lock-in in Morgan County history. Soon the members of the community had cleared the roads, and they were all able to return back to their homes. And now we fast forward to the year 2023, and the community building is in desperate need of repairs. As we can see, there is great history here, and many fond memories of this building that was once so critical to our lovely township. Some of the damage to the community building is in the form of cracks, as we can see below and above some of the windows here. There is damage to the entryway and under the gable of the roof where bats have been nesting above. Another form of damage is water damage to the foundation due to improper drainage around the structure. On November 4th from 1 to 4 p.m., the community group is hosting an open house at the community building to discuss its history and the work needed to repair this building. If you know how to work on old buildings or know someone who does, or if you'd like to donate some of your time and labor, please let one of us know at this open house. We hope to see all of you there, and thank you all for watching.